Creating a list in HubSpot is actually pretty easy and is a really great tool to be able to look at the contacts that you have in a filtered view on a regular basis. To do this, first we need to navigate to the list, which can be accessed by opening up the contacts dropdown, then at the very bottom selecting lists. Now you'll see here there are no lists active in our current sandbox. So what I want to do is go ahead and create a list in the top right hand side. It's going to take me to a page here where I have a couple of options. The first is whether I want to create a list of contacts or whether I want to create a list of companies. We're going to go ahead and create a list of contacts for this. We're just going to name this test. And then I have the option to select either an active list, which is something that as you read the description, you can see will automatically update over time. So as the records meet the criteria that you set for that list, they will be added in. And if a record that's part of that list no longer meets the criteria, it will be removed. Static lists, on the other hand, do not automatically update. So if you create a list and the record meets the criteria at that state and time, then it will be included. If at a certain point in the future it does no longer meet that criteria, it will not be removed from that list. So make sure you keep that in mind as you choose which one you want to create, whether you want to have a list that's constantly updating or whether you want to have a list that's static and does not change. So we're going to go ahead and click next, and then it's going to take me to this page here where I can go ahead and filter down. You'll see here I selected active list, so I have selected active list on this page here as well. So if you change your mind from the previous page, want to adjust it, you can do so from this page here. On the left-hand side, it's going to go ahead and it's going to offer me quite a few different options as far as filter types. Most likely, if you're working with a contact list, you can just filter off of contact properties. But if you want to get fancy, go into deal properties, company properties, even other list memberships, form submissions, marketing emails, you can do that. There's quite a bit of free space here to create whatever type of list you want. We're going to keep it quite simple. Again, this is just a sandbox, not a whole lot of contacts in this list, so won't really show up much here. But as I select contact properties, I can come in and I have access to all of the different properties that are a part of my HubSpot instance here. So as I go through, I can either scroll through to look for the properties that are relevant to what I'm doing here, or if I have something in mind, I can go ahead and search for it in the bar up here. I'm just going to go ahead and select status. And depending on the field type, it'll give you a couple of different options. Maybe I just wanted to see if they have a status at all, or if they don't have a status, if they've ever been a particular status or never been a particular status. Right now, I'm just going to select is any of, which means that they are currently active if I select this. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that filter. And then I have the option here to add further filters. I can select an and filter, which means that status is any of active and another filter, or I can add an or filter, which would then broaden your criteria and you can select anything that's an active status or is another criteria here. You can really go on and filter this list down as much as you want to. I'm going to keep it here quite simple. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and click Save. So I click Save. You'll notice that the list is being processed. It might take a minute or two for the list to actually update. So you can go back to your list. You'll see as part of your contact list library, the list that you just created is now available. And then you can see as you click back into it, if it's still being processed or not. And that's how you go ahead and create a list of contacts.